Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark.
Hello, welcome and bula, as they say here, to Fiji. I'm at Nadi International Airport here in Fiji, and today I'm going to be travelling in business class with Air New Zealand down to Auckland on a 777-200. Should be a really interesting video. Well, let's go check it out. It's only 3 hours down to Auckland, so it should be a really good flight.
I started off my trip with one of the most interesting airport transfers I've had. A boat to the mainland from my hotel, and then a car ride which followed some of the old sugar railways which are prevalent here in Fiji. I think Nadi Airport is probably the only one in the world which has a narrow gauge railway right next to the airport property. The terminal was modernised here in 2018 and now contains all the creature comforts you'd expect to find in a modern airport. Small but perfectly formed, the airport also contains a sizable Air New Zealand lounge. The airline operates here only once per day, but usually uses a large wide-body aircraft, so plenty of space is needed for all the business class passengers, as well as those who qualify for access through frequent flyer membership. Fijian food is influenced by Indian cuisine, thanks to colonial indentured servitude bringing Indians to the islands in the late 19th century to work in the sugar plantations. The lounge also featured some great old posters, including this one of a flying boat operating for Tasman Empire Airways Limited, the predecessor airline which became Air New Zealand in 1965. Nadi Airport is the main base for Fiji Airways, and maybe you've seen my video of the flight I took on their flagship A350. Here, their previous A330 flagship can be seen by the maintenance hangar. Today's ride is a 777-200 of Air New Zealand, which was delivered in 2005. Owing to the coronavirus pandemic, this aircraft is currently stored, waiting for better times to return. I also think that Nadi is the only place where I've seen a marshaller stand on a balcony to direct the aircraft. Today's video sponsor is Surfshark, an award-winning VPN, virtual private network. VPNs can spoof, perfectly legally, your device's geographic location, giving you lots of advantages, like unblocking blocked content, staying safe on public Wi-Fi, and leveraging lower prices online. Sometimes this works with plane tickets, and I'm back with another example. Flying to Hong Kong in business class this time without the VPN, from the UK I'm seeing the lowest prices here of £1,635 return. Enabling the VPN to search as if I'm from a lower income country can reveal better options, as the way airlines price their tickets sometimes varies between the country of sale. Here, an option with Israeli airline El Al saves us £48. In one go, that's a greater saving than 27 months of Surfshark membership. Go to surfshark.deals/Wingin to check it out. Get 3 months for free and 85% off the regular price with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
On board there are 26 business premier seats in a herringbone configuration. This is a somewhat outdated design, and all window seats actually face away from the window, which is a serious drawback to the seat. In the centre, even the middle pairs face away from one another, so there are no good options if you're travelling with someone. It's not hard to see why reverse herringbone, with seats facing towards the window, became the norm across airlines several years ago. You may also recognise these seats are essentially the same as the ones on Virgin's now defunct 747s. With a glass of bubbly cheerily served after boarding, I was happy to check out the legroom, which is not bad at all, even with a little buffer at the end of the ottoman. Note the seatbelt on the ottoman. This can be used for buddy dining, so a companion can sit face to face with you, although I'm not sure if many people ever decide to use that facility. Second glass of bubbly and a hot towel later, and it's time to head to Auckland. We climbed straight out of Nadi. It's strange how similar the scenery looks to England in some places. It's strange how similar the scenery looks to England in some places. New Zealand. And we were soon over the coast and heading south for New Zealand. Today's flight covers 1,335 miles and will take 2 hours and 40 minutes of flying time. My main concern about this seat is how illogically placed and easy to accidentally touch some of the features are, not least this drinks shelf at shoulder level, which can be easy to bash, risking a spilled drink. The remote pops out from the side console along with a television screen, which is rather susceptible to glare, so you may want to close the window. There's a headphone jack and USB port in the screen. Headphones are provided by the airline, but as usual I recommend you bring your own. There was no Wi-Fi on this aircraft, although many of the airline's wide-body planes now do have it installed. This seat needs crew help to convert it into a bed, but it can recline a fair way just using the control buttons, which are also easy to accidentally touch. The table also deploys in a pretty snazzy manner at the touch of a button and can slide back and forth for your comfort. Although this flight is under 3 hours, it still attracts a very respectable meal service, which started with drinks and nuts prior to me making my choices from the menu. A choice of 2 starters, 3 main courses and 3 desserts is very good for a route of this length, and I have to say the professional service and food on this flight definitely compensated for the outdated seat and cabin. I was very pleased with the food, which had decent portion sizes and certainly filled me up for the rest of the day. It's sort of weird editing this video during a time when it's actually almost impossible to enter New Zealand, but I always find it totally fascinating that you can have a 3-course lunch at 40,000 feet while doing 500 miles per hour, and I still think that flying is one of mankind's greatest achievements. Also, for dessert, eat and mess cheesecake, a great English dessert and a fine end to any airline meal. New Zealand has a delicate ecosystem, so, like Australia, there are heavy penalties for bringing in plants, and this message was prefaced before every programme on the entertainment, which, as short as the flight was diverse enough to provide enough content for a much longer journey. Interestingly, the entertainment programme also gave you the option to buy wine for delivery anywhere in the world, which isn't something I've seen before. The toilet was clean and even featured a whimsical loo with a view, and before too long we were descending into Auckland, where I'd be spending the night. Overall, a solid flight from Air New Zealand, let down a little by the outdated seat. But the good news is Air New Zealand are working on a new seat for the wide-body fleet, which we can probably expect to see once the pandemic is over. This one-way ticket cost me 800 New Zealand dollars, which is about £400 sterling. Don't forget to visit surfshark.deals/wingin for 85% off and 3 extra months for free of Surfshark VPN. Thanks for coming along again, and I will see you in the next video.